on this episode of The Grannies.
In our world, there are people who don't want to be with their family anymore.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk to them. They are too anxious about what would be going on at the holidays. Mm-hmm. This year in Minneapolis, the people who were standing up to ICE had whistles. I was going to put a whistle on the Seder plate in honor of the people who've been going up against this government. And a friend of mine said, but you know, your grandson, his feelings will be hurt. So I said, okay, no whistle.
So whose responsibility is it to make sure that when we come around family, come together as a family, we don't hurt one another's feelings? Should it be the grandma should it be the kids, or should it be everybody watching out for everybody to make sure that everyone has?
You see, now you've hit the nail on the head.
Welcome to The Grannies, everyone, a podcast where we honor the women whose stories have shaped generations. I'm your host, Adeshewa Josh, and I'm so excited to begin this journey of legacy, memory, and healing with one of the most extraordinary grandmothers I know.
Oh, thank you. I'm Jane Ice, author, grandmother, and lifelong listener to Family Secrets and to Family Wisdom. I'm thrilled to be on this journey with Adeshewa as we create a space where older women, especially grandmothers, can speak openly about what they've lived, what they've learned, and how they hope to leave a wonderful legacy behind.
Well, we believe that sharing these stories can heal families, inspire communities, and remind us that aging is not decline, it's death. So we invite you to join us on this beautiful journey.
How are you, my darling?
Fabulous. How are you? Can I get a hug?
Be better.
Always.
A beautiful day.
We wish we could give you hugs too. Hello, everyone. My name is Adeshewa Josh.
And I'm Jane Ice.
And welcome to the Grannies Podcast. We want to say thank you to all of our viewers for staying tuned and for watching us. We would like to say thank you also to all of our subscribers. So these are two different people. Some people watch us, they don't follow us. And we would like to encourage you guys. What are you waiting for?
It just helps.
It just helps, you know.
It's a small thing. If you do it, we'd appreciate it.
That would be wonderful.
And you can also occasionally tell your friends how brilliant we are and how wonderful we are.
And that's so true.
Well.
I mean, whatever. So please.
If you don't feel like doing that, so what?
But please, it would really, really help us to grow the platform, to help other right people find us. This content is so niche. We believe that we're doing something very important, and we would like everybody who needs to see this by you following us, telling your friend, and do everything you can. Talk to them about it, and also send us your ideas on how you think we can be better. Trust me.
We would love to have your comments, your criticism, your questions. This is not a yes, grandma.
No
conversation.
We don't agree all the time.
This is a real one. So send it along. We will so appreciate and so honor your help.
And guess what? Also in the light of more people following us and viewing us, because there are so many platforms in which you can stream content these days. And now we're on YouTube. Woo! You can find us as The Grannies Podcast. Just go on YouTube and
That's wonderful.
The Grannies Podcast. And you know what? YouTube is the place to be. So please find us, follow us from around the world, and let us know what you think, how we can improve, how we can get better. We would really appreciate that. Where else are we on? Where else can people find us?
Well, the big news.
Yes.
So excited. We're on television.
Yes.
TV.
The
Manhattan Neighborhood Network.
Yes.
Which is the largest cable video channel.
Yes. Of regional program.
Regional program,
yes.
And it reaches more than 20 million households.
That's right.
So if we get only 2 million, we'll be okay, right, Mom?
Okay, absolutely. just give us 2 million, okay? 2 million viewership, 2 million households committed to this content and also wanting to be a part of it. A time will come on this channel that will start to feature some of your viewers. I promise you, that is so true.
So
there you go. So we would like to say thank you to everyone for following us and watching us, but also more importantly, those participating, sending us emails, sending us messages, sending us, what they think about what we're doing.
She's crossing her fingers.
I'm telling you, we're going to be featuring you because this is a community. It's not just a show. We're building a community together. And you know what? You can watch MNN, you can watch us on TV on Spectrum 34, Fields 33, RCN 82. And for those of you who would like to rather stream MNN online, you can go to www.mnn.org/channels/MNN community. Or you could just go
amazing?
to you could just go to mnn.org and just see watch live, you see the community channel and watch. We are building a community and we are so excited. So let's move on to the focus of this episode, Granny Jane.
So this week we're focusing on the holidays.
That's right.
This happens to be a year when all three major faiths in America,
yes, and around the world actually,
are celebrating. We finished Eid last week,
yes,
and we have Passover this week, and Sunday we have Easter.
Yes.
So everybody is getting together.
Yes.
One way or another, all around the world.
Yeah.
And the question is, how easy is it? How hard is it? And how can we, as each generation, find a way to be kind and strong and helpful? Because these moments are never forgotten.
Right. Some people don't like holidays. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to hear about it. They want to be alone. And the idea that they have to be around anyone during those holidays are like too much to bear.
I'm Jewish, and in my family, we're celebrating Passover this week.
Yeah.
My children always want to make it shorter. They don't want the whole story read. Come on, let's move.
Yeah, just give us the summary of it.
And we want dinner.
Period.
And in each tradition, each family, you have wonderful moments and you have scary moments. But I have to tell you one right away.
Okay.
Passover, and this is from maybe 60 years ago. Mm-hmm. I have a cousin. When I was growing up, our family, my mother and her sister's families, all got together for Passover.
Right.
And my mother was a very theatrical lady. She was a psychologist, but she loved putting on plays.
Nice.
And after the ceremony, she would get one of the things she would do is have a panel of the children. Mm-hmm. She would interview them like they were the important authorities.
Oh, wow.
6, 5, 4, 8, sitting with the family. And she would ask them questions about the meaning of Passover, about their lives. And it would go on for 10 or 15 minutes. And the kids took it very seriously. Very seriously.
Of course.
My cousin, I have a wonderful cousin who I'm very close to. We talk every day. She told me that as she was growing up, it was the only time in the year that she felt somebody was listening to her.
Wow.
Paying her the kind of attention that she thought she deserved. So those little 10-minute panels about the slaves and the Pharaoh and whatever meant the world to her. She's coming to my table Saturday.
Oh, how exciting. So basically this episode explores the emotional complexities of family time. The emotional complexities of family time, where love, expectations, generational differences, and personal truth often collide. And some people don't want to navigate those crazy emotions because it's just better. For some people, it's just better left untouched.
In our world, there are people who don't want to be with their family anymore.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk to them. They are too anxious about what would be going on at the holidays. Mm-hmm. There are two ways to deal with it. First of all, if you're in charge of the table, the most important thing is to say, that's how I feel, I love them, and they love me, and I'm not going to be hurt, and I'm going to continue talking to them even if they don't come.
Right. Also, we're going to talk about why it is important for us to even consider those holidays and why they are, why the one thing that is associated with families around the world, with holidays around the world as family.
Yes.
It's gathering. And what is the essence of that? What are we preserving? What are we cultivating?
That's wonderful. Those are wonderful questions. The first thing I think is if you have a family tradition, most of us do, for the holidays where you get together, somebody is cooking what you had every year at this time since you were a child. And the very odor of the turkey cooking takes you back to your childhood. We know from physiology that smell is the sense that is of history. So if you smell the turkey or the sweet potatoes as you come in and you're 40 years old, you may all of a sudden feel like you're 10. That is good and that is complicated. But these are the moments where the notion of a family around the table is at its prime. Last year, my younger son, put on a Seder. We had a number of them. And he had done all the cooking. And we had the Haggadah, which we read. And he said, Mom, would you like to lead? And I said, you made the dinner, you be the leader.
Nice.
Now, I knew it would be short because he doesn't like all
the long
thing. It was fine. He said, well, you stay at the head of the table.
Right.
I said, that's fine. I sat at the table, looking down that table. It was just a few of us, his family, his kids, his wife. And I thought, my future, I can see my legacy down this table. I can imagine it. This conversation, this story will be repeated long after I'm dead. And I felt a sense of immortality that I found very powerful. And it didn't matter to me if we did a short Seder, because I was there and I was seeing my younger son take over. I was thrilled. And he did the dishes.
I love that he did the dishes.
Well,
I love that. No,
Thank you.
I'm serious. I do. So basically, you sat there and you had a moment. Did you have flashbacks to when you saw your son doing the ceremony?
I could just I have flashbacks at all Passovers. When I was a little girl, there's a tradition in my family. We drink 4 glasses of wine, or we sip glasses. Take a sip.
Does it have to be 4?
There are 4 on the Passover ceremony. There are 4 glasses of wine, each of which tells a part of the story of the passage from slavery to freedom.
Hold on. This is very interesting. This is going to be education in Passover for just a couple minutes. First, I want you to talk about what the upcoming holiday means to you and what it reminds you of.
In the Passover Seder, you eat different foods, which are symbolic, and one of the foods is chopped nuts and apples with some wine, and that is meant to be the cement that kept the blocks of stone together. And then Moses comes along. Moses has been adopted into Pharaoh's house, as you know. And God comes to him and says, or he's been complaining to God about slavery, and they make an agreement that Moses will listen to God, and God will give him the directions about how to get us out of slavery. And so he goes to Pharaoh, and Pharaoh says, no, we won't let your people go. And they have 10 plagues. God weighs 10 plagues on them. We thought that COVID was the 11th plague. And then we get free, and then we go to we have 1 day to leave. So they don't have time to let the bread rise. So they take the dough and they thin it out and they put it on the rocks. It's hot in Egypt in April. And it doesn't rise. It looks like a cracker, and that's matzah. So each one of the things we eat at the Seder tells part of the story. We get to the Red Sea, and Pharaoh's troops on horseback are coming after these poor slaves who have only taken what they can carry. And God makes the river part and lets the Israelites through, and the rivers close over the Pharaoh's troops. And then we get into the desert, and it takes 40 years to get out of the desert.
Can I say something quickly?
Yes.
Just hold that part of the story. You know, I was in Israel 4 years ago to report.
Yes.
I did some reporting there. I was reporting on the refugees there.
Yes.
Some Sudanese refugees there. So we went to Holot, and they were telling me about how we're this place from Holot, the desert area, and then someone was showing me, oh, that's, if you go this way in this desert, that's Egypt. And I was like, how long does it take? Because a few people made that trip. Some of the African refugees made that trip from Egypt, and they were trying to get to Israel to find refuge. That's a long story. And so one of the people I interviewed told me it took me, I don't know, maybe a week or so. I was like, no, it took the Israelites 40 years. It took the Jews 40 years. Please explain to me why the trip took 40 years.
It didn't. But my father was a bit of knew a lot about ancient history and this period. The story says it took 40 years. It took a long time. The story says it was just the Israelites. The archaeologists believe that it was a great migration, not just of Jews, but of people going toward Israel, away from Egypt. Many of them, Jews were not the only slaves in Egypt. So we say 40 years. They really didn't know where they were going. They were wandering in the desert, and they would find a grove, they would find water, and they wandered. And it was called a mixed multitude. It wasn't just Jews, it was ancient people of all colors and of all creeds. And lots of cows and sheep.
Right, that makes it harder. Okay, I know why it took 40 years. The cows in the sheep.
It took 40 years.
I want you to talk to me about what celebrating this holiday was like for you when you were growing up.
When I was a little girl.
When you were a little girl. Obviously, you didn't go through Egypt, but your ancestors did. What was it like when they set the table and compare it to what it is like now, you know?
So when I was a little girl, we were always trying to relate this story to the issues of justice and fairness and inclusion. We were immigrants. I come from a family of immigrants. The word that is most often used in the book of Exodus is stranger.
Yes.
So when it says we were strangers in a strange land, my family is saying yes. My mother was born in Austria. My grandparents never could read English. So and for me, for us in our family, the ethical dimension of freedom from oppression, of strangers in a strange land, and of justice. These are the themes that I loved most. And it was boring, but there's a plate with all these symbols, and you can take a little bite of parsley or a little piece of matzah. So you're not dying of hunger. And furthermore, in our home, it maybe took 45 minutes, not 3 hours, the way it does in a religious. And that's it. And we all felt as if the purpose in my family was to create the notion the feeling in all of our hearts that we had been slaves, that we had been oppressed, and that our responsibility as freed people was to take care of the stranger and stop the oppression. So there was a moral, you might call it political now, but when I was growing up, it was a moral issue. You don't allow people to be harmed. And so that was my childhood. And then the next generation, the cousins and my children did the plays. And my mother had a pile of towels. They'd wrap the towels around themselves as if they were Egyptians.
Oh my God, isn't that cute?
And sometimes we tell the story of the 10 plagues. Sometimes the children would act out the plagues. It depended on what year it was and who it was. And then we'd eat.
Why is it important to simulate this history every holiday? Why?
What?
To simulate this history. As though it's happening. Why is it important?
Adishwa, I would be so happy if there were a year where this was not an issue in the world, that's all. Every year, and we're in a tumultuous time. Every year there's injustice. That's why some of us count the Bible or the various Bibles as so important, because those are books written in the hopes that we can improve ourselves.
I'll tell you, I mean, let me just tell you what holidays were like when I was growing up. So my parents were of the Abrahamic faith, but like this.
Yes.
My mom is Muslim because she was raised by an imam. My dad, I wasn't sure what he was until I think a couple of years before he died. He was a Christian, and I saw his mom go to church. So we celebrated both. I don't know how they did it. So we would kill the ram, and the imam will come and slaughter the ram and pray on it. That's what Eid in the house. I could tell you. Yep.
Wow.
And then towards Christmas, we all gathered and celebrated Christmas. We went to church. The story of how Jesus was born, et cetera, was done. And then during Easter, he died and he rose again for our sins. We did. My mom acknowledged it. She would, when she could, she went to church with us. Did we gather? Because my home was such a differing faith, all kinds of stories were told, but I don't remember it the way that you. It was more like it was outsourced to our church and mosques. In the house, we didn't do it, but the churches did it.
Well, that's the purpose of the church.
Exactly. So you could go to church and hear it. We didn't do it as a family, and I wish we kind of did, but we learned the whole thing, the reason when we're doing this, and then every year it was told over and over again and then the kids started deciding which one did I want to do. Do I want to, be a Christian? Do I want to be a Muslim? There wasn't a lot of tension, but there was in terms of we could not have a homogeneous, we couldn't be on the table together.
Yes.
And say, okay, it's one faith at this time. I just did it because people.
That's a big difference.
It was, yeah.
Did it make people tense? Did they get edgy with each other?
I think the tension was we just never came together to do it together because
it was going to be a problem.
It was going to be a problem. So we just, and it kind of worked. Although when I start my own family, I would like us to have just one, so I can create memories of all of us together doing.
You can do it now in America. There are plenty of churches and synagogues and mosques that'll help. That'll find a way so that everybody can be together, because this is a different time.
Yes.
And this is a different place. And it's also true that these three religions all are cousins.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, and there are the question of how do we, as families now, how do we stay together when we're different?
Yes,
and that's a problem.
And that contention, you still see it today. I think
everywhere.
My approach to this, when we celebrate all these holidays, and more, it's falling almost at the same time. Last year, I think both Eid and Passover kind of fell on the same day.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of days difference this year, and we see the tension around it. The way I approach it is, listen. As long as I don't try to pretend that mine is better than yours.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I think that's my approach to things, and I kind of live in peace with each other. And I want us to bring this concept of respecting the other person's way of seeing things to the family table in terms of when we gather and the tension rise, because we start to notice the tension when we are older as adults.
There are plenty of families in America, plenty of families that are interfaith families, where one of the parents is not Jewish, Muslim,
Hindu.
Christian, mainly Hindu, and that's an issue that has been an issue from the time of the Bible.
Right.
So, and we have ways to deal with it. I am so happy to live in New York now. Because this is New York has the largest population of Jews outside of Israel, and we have a mayor who is Muslim. And I think that is the best thing that could happen. You can cut that if you want, but I really believe it.
To live in there.
It's really, and that people, we're the it's called the Abrahamic religions. We all have the same story. We share so much. And if all of us took a commandment, thou shalt be kind, which is really a Buddhist commandment, it would be a lot better. So that's about religion. Now about family. One of the things that's so interesting about these family gatherings is that the old antagonisms and the old judgments, and so many of those things come back into memory as you're gathering around the table. First you smell the chicken soup or whatever, or the ham. The whole house is infused with the wonderful smell of ham, right? My children were very jealous of the fact, my grandchildren were jealous of the fact that we had to go to my cousin's, she's not Jewish, for the Easter egg hunt after Passover. They love the Easter egg hunt. So, but meanwhile, everybody, you look around and there's a relative that you're very close to, and you're so happy to see them. And whatever they have to say, however they read, whatever they do is wonderful. And then there's the one who you fought with all your life.
How do you deal with those characters? Did you experience any one of those characters when you were growing up?
Yeah.
How did you deal with it?
The best I could. I tried. I was born in an era where girls were polite.
What does that even mean?
So I watched. And it was interesting because my mother had raised her 3 sisters, and they all came and they were very competitive. She was the oldest, and so they were competitive for her attention. So I would watch the aunts vying for attention and loving it and loving them. I loved them all. And they were my guardian angels. So, and when somebody, I heard a story this week. That's the good story. The story of the transition from generations. A friend of mine, her brother took over, grown up, 50s, people in their 50s, took over Thanksgiving. And the parents were thrilled because now they didn't have to do it. They were passing the turkey, passing the torch. So the father of the family comes in the kitchen, and what does he see? His son has carved the turkey. That knife belongs to Papa.
Oh, God.
He's furious. I can't carve the turkey. So what does that mean? How do you interpret that? That means you are helping me and you are taking my authority and my autonomy. You're taking my place. And that is one of the great dramas of intergenerational progress. If my kids call and say, Mom, have you been to the doctor? They're judging me. Of course they love me, and they're right, I should go to the doctor. But I hear it as I hear it as criticism, and I feel my autonomy is diminished. So and it's also true when I tell my kids what to do, they think I'm criticizing them, and their autonomy is diminished. It's how it is. And that's the way, and that's how we're built. We love each other, and we are different from one another.
You mentioned you grew up in a time when ladies were supposed to be polite.
Polite,
what does that
yes.
even mean? Does that mean that, have you ever had to hold back something that, you truly felt during a family gathering, and why? It was because you were polite, you didn't want to say your mind, and how did that build up into something bigger?
So I have a big mouth. I was born with a big mouth.
Hashtag
So, And so I always had a lot to say. When I was a little girl in Washington during World War II,
Right.
We were fervent members of the New Deal. My parents were both working in Washington in government. So, and their closest friend was Roosevelt's Jewish advisor, David Niles. He came for many, many meals. He gave my mother his, whatever they were called, to buy meat, so that, because he ate with us so often. And he called me Grandma, and I sat on his lap. Occasionally we'd have a conversation. And one day I announced, this is not a holiday, announced to the dinner table that FDR was Jewish. Now, this was a time when my parents' friend was trying to get the president to let the ships with the Jews who were fleeing Hitler into America, and he wouldn't do it. So it was a little crazy. And they said, Janie, what makes you think that? And I said, well, he's good enough. So that's who I was. And
did you hurt anybody by saying exactly
what?
Did you hurt anybody by saying exactly what was on your
I didn't. But there's a moment I didn't hurt anybody. They thought it was funny, and they loved me. And they love me. If they really, if you're in a circumstance, this was just an informal dinner.
Okay.
If you're in a place where anything goes, and there's a lot of love and acceptance, and I was 4 years old, I was a kid,
Yeah.
How does she know any of this? When things are tense, when people have forced themselves to come to that dinner, they don't want to go, they're afraid that it's going to be bad, they're having a feud with somebody, that's when it really gets intense. And the more alert everybody around the table is to the possibility of an eruption, the less likely it will happen.
But then it's tense, you don't have fun.
What?
Then it's tense, you don't have fun.
Well, there you go. So last year, Passover,
Yeah.
it was just, the Gaza war there was war, there was all stuff. And I said, and some of my cousins are even more political than I am. And I said to them, do you think we could take politics out of this Seder and just tell the story and spend this Passover feeling the feelings of the ancients, trying to put ourselves in their, wouldn't be shoes, it's sandals, put ourselves in their sandals as they left home. And they did it, and it was less tense. And if we had gotten into a big fight, it would have made it very different.
Is there anything that you wanted to do
that I couldn't do?
Well, you didn't do it because you didn't want to hurt anyone's feeling. I'm talking about your grandchildren.
That's a good question.
Yes.
Well, yes.
What were they?
Just now, one of my grandchildren does not agree with my politics. And he has a perfect right to his own beliefs.
Right.
And when he speaks of what he believes, I put my arm around him and say, I love you, because I'm not going to get it into, he has a right to his own beliefs. So, as you know, this year in Minneapolis, the people who were standing up to ICE had whistles. And they made whistles out of something, and they gave them to people. Right. So they have a whistle if you saw somebody with a mask in your neighborhood, and they were everywhere. So I thought, we have a Seder plate where we put the symbols. I thought I was going to put a whistle on the Seder plate in honor of the people who've been going up against this government. And a friend of mine said, but your grandson, his feelings will be hurt. So I said, okay, no whistle. Not going to hurt his feelings.
That's great. So whose responsibility is it to make sure that when we come around family, come together as a family, we don't hurt one another's feelings? Should it be the grandma because should it be the kids, or should it be everybody watching out for everybody to make sure that everyone has?
You see, and you've hit the nail on the head. For me, if I'm lucky enough to get everybody in my family around this table,
right, I
want them to enjoy it. And even if they like arguing, which they all do, when it gets angry and nasty, which it often does when it's about politics, particularly in this time, it's no fun for anybody. So we do what we can, and everybody knows that. And if you have a beautiful dinner, a beautiful time, and you remember what all people have been through, how hard life is, what a struggle it is, what courage it takes to move, to change, to follow your dream for a better life for your family, that's a wonderful message.
How do you then stay true to yourself in family spaces while still keeping the peace and maintaining relationships with the rest of the people? It's a that's a wonderful question. And if we have a choice, again, as grandparents, we can be accepting and loving and make it all nice, or we can be judgmental and hurt. I was gonna say we can be a bit.
What?
No.
We have a choice. The beauty is we have a choice. So, and this is true, I found true about the intergenerational contrasts. One of my favorite stories in one of the books is about a woman who couldn't understand why her children weren't inviting her to holidays anymore. I said, well, what's it like? She said, well, my daughter-in-law's a lousy cook. And she overcooks the beans always.
Oh, God.
And I've told her time after time, don't overcook the beans. And it turns out she would comment at the table, oh, these beans are overcooked. You have a choice. And very often, another piece of it is, I know what to do. I taught you. You can't do it your way because you've got to do it my way. How many times have we felt that?
What is it with grandma and their way, by the way?
What?
What is it with grandmas and their way?
Well, that's how we grew up. Okay, so we are, think of 5 generations, the grandchildren, the children, us, our parents, and our grandparents. 5 generations sit in my heart. I didn't know my grandparents because they died in the flu epidemic. Most people knew their grandparents. 5 generations sit down at the table somewhere. And if we think that things ought to be the way they were when we were young, we're not going to be comfortable. It's true. It's true. People are raising their children very differently from the way I was raised, my kids were raised. Times change. And we have a choice. All of this is about choices. We have a choice. We can say, I don't like the way she cooked the pot roast. Why couldn't she cook it my way? Or you could say, I like it better my way, but this isn't bad. It's just a dinner. It's just a meal. One of the things that we have to do, or we have the choice to do as the elder generation, is to take our egos out of it. It's not about you. If your my grandchildren have bad manners, manners is not something, table manners gets taught much later than it used to be. You might know. So they haven't been taught yet to cut the meat up into chewable pieces. They put a big piece of meat in their mouth. Yes, and they chew and chew and chew. And sometimes they put a fork in their mouth and take some of it out. It's awful. Does it matter? Does it matter?
You just described someone I know.
So, if you criticize a grandchild in front of their parents, you're breaking the 12th commandment. And you can do it. You can say anything you like. My experience is that when you're really ready, out of ideas, you say, I love you. Because that is always true. And our job as grandparents, I believe, our fundamental job is to be a loving factor in the family. Children these days are under more pressure than they've ever been. They have to excel at school. They have to excel at sports. They're on their phones all the time. Somebody's at them all the time. So if there's somebody in the room that just loves you, it makes life a little easier. And that being loved is what makes us loving people. So it's just in the Bible, you know, the Israelites are in the desert and there's nothing to eat, and then God sends down manna, which is some kind of protein. A grandparent's love is manna in the desert for children.
Preach, preacher.
It's so easy because of course we love them. And if we so you can be judgmental, you can be angry. If somebody's rude, a grandchild is rude to me, it hurts my feelings. Then I say to myself, what do you think is going on in their world? Because I know they love me.
What will constitute rude to a grandmother?
Grandma, some unfriendly thing, or not listening to me, or of course they laugh at me a lot because I am silly, and I love it when they laugh at me. I could also take that personally. You know, at dinner I have a Tito vodka. They call me Grandma Tito, and they tease me because none of them has anything to drink. So I could again. I figured that when I'm gone, part of what they will remember is my being silly, which is not a bad thing to be. And they want to be silly too, and maybe they don't think they can be silly. Being silly is a joy.
And you know what? At the end of the day, what would you say brings everybody back despite the tension? Hopefully it brings everybody back.
You know, acceptance. Love and acceptance. And I think as we get older, I see with my grown children now, their children are teenagers. They're beginning to see the primacy of family much more central than when they were in college or when they were starting out in business or in work. And they put up with a lot of, I have two sons. I know their wives, families. We're all a little crazy. We're all a little annoying. And so are they. And so are the grandchildren. So is everybody.
What would you say is most likely to bring everybody back despite the tension?
Love. Tradition. If somebody, first of all, if you're running it, you have to want to do it.
So you set the example.
And if you don't want to do it, you have to find somebody who will. So there's not only one person who can run any of these family dinners, if it's a big enough family, particularly if it's 3 generations, because the middle generation knows how to cook and can set the table. So,
are you telling us we don't know how to cook?
Well, you do.
I am the middle generation.
You're the middle generation.
Okay, all right.
So, if there has been such a fight, such an irreparable rent in the fabric of the family, that's much more significant and important than Easter dinner. It's deep and it needs work. So if somebody says, I don't want to come back to you for Easter, or making excuses, you might stop and think what happened here and what's really going on. It's not about one dinner, it's about some family tension. There is always tension. There's a tradition now where if you're angry at your family, you just divorce them, which I consider a plague. The therapists are saying, well, what do you need them for?
Therapists?
So that's another issue for another time. So one is, if they don't want to come back, you have to figure out what is going on and how to offer them a change that will make them comfortable.
And who is doing this? You, Grandma?
Well, whoever. If the cousins are fighting, and one of them says, "Well, I don't want to do that again," you can say, "Get on the phone and heal this." It's more important for us to be together. And if they don't want to come for it, they want a year off, give them a year off and make sure they have a return invitation for the following year.
Is this the advice you're giving to families navigating really tough moments this holiday?
So my advice to you, as who are watching this, is watch it and see what happens. And see what dynamics make you uncomfortable and what dynamics make your eyes fill with tears of joy. And look at it. When I'm in a situation where I have to be alert, I think of myself as not as Jane me, but as an anthropologist, observing Margaret Mead, observing the people around the table, so I can understand. I can be more objective about the politics of it, and so I can help. And people get over being annoyed, and if it turns out that I have criticized my host for overcooking the beans, I can apologize. So that's people who don't want to get together. When it's happening, you can set the tone. If it's your house, you can set the tone. Come in, I get a little tense when I'm having 14 people at the table.
Right.
So I have to figure out a way not to be tense when I greet them, because they'll pick it up.
That's true.
And I have to think about that. Thank you. And you can also you can have designated huggers and peacemakers.
Hug everybody when they come in, okay?
Right. You can say to a grandchild, so-and-so hasn't been around for a couple of years. Pay that person a lot of attention, will you, honey?
Oh, that's good.
So you can set up it's manipulative, but you can set it up
in a good way.
So that it's good and so that people are relaxed. And when you're really tense, if you can keep yourself from yelling at somebody, "You've had too much wine." If you could kind of calm yourself down, you can help make it comfortable. I had an aunt who played favorites with my children.
That's always dangerous.
That was unacceptable.
And parents do that too, even subconsciously.
Yes, and she loved my younger son. One year for the holidays, gift giving, she gave my younger son a color television and my older son a paper hat from Chinatown.
The difference.
And it really, I was furious at her. I didn't know what she was going to do, and I had to help both kids understand what was going on, because my older son was hurt. My younger son felt bad for loving the TV, because he knew that wasn't fair. So with your children, you're always dealing with fairness, with their feelings in ways that are challenging. But what my kids got to understand about the aunt who played favorites was that when she was a young girl, she had been her father's favorite.
You see how these things always show up.
And so she didn't think being a parent playing favorites was a problem. What broke her heart was when the new baby came and she was no longer her father's favorite. And if it turns out that at one of these celebrations, people have a really good time and the love that binds every family together and the silliness and the jokes and the stories begin to take over from the gravity and the seriousness of it. It's what life is meant to be.
You know, what would you say to grandchildren or even children who are ashamed of their families?
Yeah.
You know that
exists?
Yes. Yeah.
And they are, my grandchildren are now teenagers. And
you know that there is that phase in teenagehood. There's that phase in teenagehood where you're just ashamed of your family.
Yes.
Whether it is how your mom talks very loudly
or you think your family is ashamed of you, one or the other.
Oh, really?
Yes. It goes one way or the other.
For me, I was very ashamed of my family one time.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how did you overcome it?
I don't know. I got maturity.
You grew up.
I grew up.
Yeah. And everybody grows up. And I think in this troubled world, if we're lucky enough to have people who want to sit around the table with us and celebrate the great moments in our history,
right,
and become a part of that history,
right,
it's a privilege. It's a miracle. So the miracle of these holidays is also the miracle of family.
Amazing. Well, this is a great way to wrap up this podcast. We believe that love can sustain us through crazy tensions during this holiday. And we hope you found your bit of wisdom in this conversation.
And remember, if you're annoyed at somebody after the holiday, see if you can put yourself in their place and see what was going on in their heart and mind, and maybe you can forgive them.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to send your thoughts and your comments to thegrannies.podcast@gmail.com. Thegrannies.podcast@gmail.com. Continue to tell everyone about this great show. We look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for
watching. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Bye.
Thank you for coming on the ride with us. Jane and I would like to hear from you. Please send your comments to thegrannies.podcast@gmail.com. Thegrannies.podcast@gmail.com. You can listen to the Grannies Podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcasts.